intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads in our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. Fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads in our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream.
Hi there, they call me the Governor, and welcome to our live stream talking about The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Now, It's been a heck of a day, so I'm hoping some other people show up here. Because I know Bebe wasn't able to show up because she's got some busyness and some issues. And Jazz was going to show up, but a coworker didn't show up at work. And yeah, it's just me at the moment, so hopefully a few more people will show up. But welcome everybody who has joined us in the chat, because, well, you're here and I'm here, so we're going to have a good time. No matter what. That's an order. But I see some familiar screen names in there. We see Big Rob. We see Haley Weirdwolf. North of 60. Again, north of 60. It is bonsoir, because it is evening. Unless you're in a different part of the world. But while we're waiting for some other people to get in, I'm going to start talking a little bit about what happened on this show. And I do want to, before we get into that, just say, if you haven't checked it out, we have some great stuff from the amazing Cooper Andrews. We have an interview we just put up with him. And we have a panel with him, Kari Payton, and Beta himself, Ryan Hurst, on this channel. But okay, so where we left off last week is Daryl just stood there like an idiot as the roof crumbled beneath him. He didn't even seem to try to, like, jump out of the way, which is fucking weird. And he falls, and we open up this one with him apparently searching around, looking for Laurent, and runs into a gate that he can't get through because it's locked. And then he sees Laurent on the other side. And a bunch of biters are closing in. That was scary. Then Laurent does his little praying thing. And the biters ignored him. I was like, okay, this either isn't really happening, or they have taken this whole Last of Us thing way too far. Because since he was born from a biter, or are they just ignoring him? But yeah, that was my thought. Last of Us all over again. I was like, what the hell? What did you guys think? Were you thinking he was somehow immune to the biters? Basically gave off some kind of subtle signal that told them to just basically leave him the hell alone? That was my initial thought. Until, of course, he woke up. But still, they didn't really give us any indicators that it was a dream until afterwards. Yeah. Amani, I actually thought the same thing. I thought it was real. And I thought they're taking this whole Last of Us thing too far, because he's now able to basically will the biters away. Phyllis, you knew more than me. I figured maybe he fell down in there and, landed, found a light, and was working his way out. Because him falling through a roof isn't going to kill him. There was no way, because, it's his show. Without him, the whole show goes away. But some of you knew he was dreaming, and some of you didn't. I didn't at first, but then when he woke up under the water, I'm like, oh, okay. That makes more sense. And later on, we see that Laurent is not immune to the biters, but as far as their attention. But we'll get there. What's interesting, though, yeah, north of 60, I was like, this is too much. So I'm glad it turned out to be a dream. Well, Laurent didn't respond to Daryl. That is true, Phyllis. So, but he was supposedly pissed at Daryl. I'm not exactly sure what he was pissed about, The kid goes into rages for no apparent reason. But, yeah. When he woke up, though, he was underwater, so it must have been a very, very quick dream. So he opened his eyes, he's underwater, and then he's attacked by aquatic biters. That was something. And he's still able to get enough leverage to stab them underwater, which you can do. I mean, people who swim with the sharks often have knives. But I really thought that one biter who chomped into his boot might have actually gotten him. I'm like, whoa, wait. They're going to have to cut off his foot? I mean, this show could survive with him with a peg leg. But apparently it just really chomped. And there was some sound effects. Chomped onto his shoe. That was pretty amazing. Wow. I gotta say, I feel like the morning when I woke up and Chumpert and Martinez had just abandoned me in my little itty bitty pup tent. So I feel abandoned, people, but I'm glad that you're here. But yeah, Northern 60, I was concerned that there was something, it would be way too much like Last of Us for him to be immune to the bites. Or, I mean, how could he exude something that would keep the biters away? Unless it was a smell. And, I mean, Daryl smelled so bad the past, 11, 12 years that I'm surprised biters ever paid attention to him. It was a cool visual in the water. We knew he was going to get out, but I did have a moment of whoa when that biter bit into his foot. I mean, his boot, but I wonder if one tooth had gotten through and nicked his skin, would that have been enough? I would hope it would take a little bit more than that, but I think his laces are pretty destroyed. Well, these biters under the water did not appear to be acidic biters, because the water would have diluted that acid quite a bit, so... But yeah, the biter veins being... Well, acid, those guys are still concerning to me because the acid is crackling through the flesh, and you would think that if it's that strong, that they would eventually collapse. Now, who thinks that the acidic biters were an attempt by the French to mutate the virus and have all those biters just kind of, burn up from inside? I think that's what happened, because we don't see the, what are they called? The boilers? We don't see the boilers in the US of A. I mean, I'm not saying we don't screw with some stuff, but apparently Dr. Jenna didn't screw up with them enough to cause any boilers to appear. Hey, Miss Gayla. Yeah, I sent you an invite. Well, if you get home soon, feel free to join in, because, yeah, it's just me. It could be that they were test subjects gone wrong, and if they got out. I mean, the Isabel seemed pretty adamant about, burning Daryl's arm to cause him intense pain, which I appreciated. But she seemed to be of the opinion that he was going to turn if she didn't do that. So the boiler walkers are pretty much, they could have spread by burning other people. And then they turned into boiler walkers, etc. Yeah, I would like to know a little bit more about what they've been messing with these spiders. Other than the boilers, I haven't really seen any other variants, unless you count the standing around and attacking Daryl one at a time variants that Jack was complaining about. Oh well, Miss Kayla, I'm a little heartbroken, but that's okay. I guess this is like the old days when I had my own streams, just myself. So we'll talk about the episode, and then we'll open it up to any other questions that you guys might have. Because it looks like I am alone. I haven't even heard Jack tentatively accepted. Tomas said that he couldn't make it tonight, but he forwarded to Ms. Kayla and Karina the invite. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else is gonna eventually show up, but we'll just continue to talk. And alright, my timeline may be a little confused, but he basically Daryl gets out and then he finds Pigeon Guy. That's what happened next, right? Hell, you didn't see the episode. You're going to get all the spoilers here. Hopefully it won't spoil it for you. Yeah, the ending, we're going to get to that. That's going to be... that was something. I think Isabel might have some rival around. But yeah, so he finds Pigeon Guy, tries to hide him, and then they try to take his pigeons. Who tries to take a man's pigeons? I mean, sheesh. And then when he's like saying, hey, give me back my pigeons, they fucking shoot the guy. God damn. But it was kind of a beautiful, beautiful scene. Yeah, there was where Daryl was walking down the street and looking around, and someone was playing with cello, and there was an old couple just hanging. It's like, do they even know there's a friggin' apocalypse going on? Come on. Only in Paris will you have a bunch of people who are like, okay, well, there's a whole bunch of people who died and came back and want to eat my flesh, but I'm going to just sit here on the cello. I'll be very cultural. Man. But yeah, poor Pigeon Guy. He just wanted his pigeons. Now, he got shot, and then Daryl took revenge. And I imagine that he also took them out permanently so they wouldn't turn. But yeah, he was... The knife throw was nice, though that is not a throwing knife. Hey, I got Sky here. I'm not totally alone. Yeah, they'll say we're trying to live as normally as they could, but I mean, you play the cello, you might have biters coming from next door. But it was a beautiful scene that he freed the pigeons. But where are they going to go now? Since they're homing pigeons, are they going to go elsewhere? They're going to go to where they're trained to go to? He just freed them, which was a nice gesture. Excuse me, one seemed to just fly off and, land in the street somewhere. He didn't go far. Is that Antoine? Is that was his name? Yeah, he, poor old guy. You know, just trying to, you know, I don't know why Daryl didn't just bring the bike around the corner with them. That would have made it a lot simpler, avoided the whole thing. But, yeah, pigeon guy should have let his pigeons go. But at that part of his life, that's probably all he had. It's a shame. And of course, Daryl can't read a map. You know, the street maps are a little dirty to begin with, but he's like, how the hell do I... It's like, we are here. And he could figure out that part, but he couldn't figure out anything else. So, Pigeon Guy was giving him great directions. But, yeah. Anyways. So, a moment of silence for Pigeon Guy. Yeah, French maps. I'm surprised that they were taken over by Nazi Germany because, you know, unless the Nazis had their own maps, because if that's an example of French maps, how did the Germans know where to go? So Daryl ends up going to Isabel's old apartment. I guess that was a good rendezvous spot because she was there, listening to the neighbors banging on the walls. If I missed something, I mean, I did watch this last night, but if I missed something, you let me know in the chat. And then he goes and sees her, and she'd been looking all night for Laurent, and who knew where he was? Well, I mean, anyone would have a brain would have realized, oh, he wants to go to the Eiffel Tower where his mom took that picture. Which, you know, Daryl has half a brain, so he figured it out. Even the lounge singer, I forget her name. Does anyone know the name of that singer who is a bit jealous of Isabel? Please let me know in the chat. But, yeah, Daryl finds out Laurent is gone. And then they head out to the Eiffel Tower. I am going to talk about another monument that's in France, but Anna, yes, Anna is a lounge singer. Is it Anna or Anne? I don't know. The A chick. Dun, 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 dun. If you can find her, you can hire the A chick. But yeah, it was a. They head out there, and Laurent's like, do. He manages to avoid biters until he comes across the ones that have been apparently barricaded into the base of the Eiffel Tower. And because he shows up and gets them all riled up, they're somehow now able to get through the barricades. Oh, yes, the bad lady in the baby scene. I did miss something. So we're going to have to rewind before we talk about Laurent and the fact that he's not ignored by the biters. So that's Jeanette. And when I was looking at the closed captions, Jeanette had a different spelling with a G. But she is apparently unhappy that the miracle child exists. And everyone's saying, you know, he's going to lead them to a better world. Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, Laurent should live. I mean, he's a main character. I would see that. I was worried when Jeanette showed up and she's talking to everybody, and Tattoo Face. I never remember these people's names. is basically saying we can find the boy. We'll get the boy. We will get the boy and take care of the boy. And I was a little concerned about, because last time we saw a crying baby was with Alpha and her crew, and you know what they tried to have happen to that kid. But luckily, Connie saved the day, but there was no Connie around here, only Jeanette. And the woman didn't seem to want to give up her baby. You think, North 60, that she wants to use Laurent for testing, or does she just want to eliminate him as a source of false hope, where these people are getting all uppity and in her business and rebelling against her? She doesn't want, them to look to somebody else. When Jeanette picked up that baby and actually got the baby to be quiet for a little bit, I was a little concerned that she was going to do something horrible to the baby. I'm like, she's kind of the bad guy, but is she that much of a monster? Is she going to be like, hey, this baby's great for testing? Definitely gave me a little bit of Alpha vibes, that whole baby scene. It's interesting because they seem to regard Laurent as almost a religious figure. And they could have taken Laurent away, but what can he do that's special other than he's got been raised by nuns and can calm people who are inconsolable? He hasn't shown any, superpowers. But taking Laurent in for testing would essentially take him out of circulation. So he would, again, it would be the same as killing him. But I don't know what they would test him for. The miracle child. I mean, born from the belly of a biter. That, had a lot of bees in it. But since he apparently can't do what he did in the dream, is there anything really to test? Or is she just going to use him like any of the other testing subjects, what they were going to use Daryl for, and infect him and, with some new mutation of the virus? That's what I think they're doing on that boat, is they're trying to, infect people with a virus that will turn them into a biter, but then neutralize them. Like the exploding head guy. I don't know, but that lady is a bit creepy. He lasts, 13 seconds? 18 seconds? That'd be a short test. So, she's all upset about Laurent, and Laurent is just wandering around the Eiffel Tower, gets the attention of the biters, and of course, who comes to save the day but Daryl and Isabel. And honestly, it's really cool the way Daryl swings that flail and just tears into the biters. But you would think that they would all rush him at once, and he would not have a lot of room to swing that thing. I don't think it's as realistic. I think the train scene back in regular TWD, when he was going through and, killing biters all the way down the train, that was a bit more realistic than him just whipping his flail around. It's not like the flail's gonna scare them. And if the biters just swarmed him, he'd be done. So it's great visuals, but I don't know how practical it is. All right. I'm just occasionally popping over and seeing if anyone is showing up. But it looks like it's just me and you guys. Wow. Gotta really dance to earn some super chats. I'm don't mind the dancing. You'll probably start charging me. So Jeanette is a bitch, but she didn't appear to kill that baby, which is good. And of course they go, Daryl and Isabel. Isabel is also, she's using the knife effectively, but again, if the biters came at her all at once. Yeah, Laurent, he saw the biters coming and decided to hide. I don't know why he just didn't take off. I mean, it would have been funny if he took off and then Daryl and Isabel get there and they're like, oh shit, he's somewhere in there, and they have to basically try to take out all the biters just to see that he's already run away. She was kindas. I'm not sure what you mean, North of 60. Yeah, Laurent makes a lot of bad decisions, like going off on his own was a bad decision in the first place. Yeah, she was kind of slow with the knife. She would... And, yeah, I guess... I mean, Laurent hid, and a lot of the biters no longer were looking for him, so I don't see why they didn't just charge, Daryl all at once. I mean, they are French biters, so, maybe not as effective at fighting and biting as, U.S. biters. Because, again, back in World War II, the whole country got taken over by the Nazis. And they were like, what are you doing coming into our country? We will fight you one at a time. There we go. I guess that carries over into them being biters. So, basically, Laurent's hiding under a thing, and the biters, actually do want to chomp into him. So, Daryl's dream was just a dream. I mean, how he got under that piece of metal so quickly, I'm not sure. And it was that biter was creepy who basically looked down and found him. Maybe that is the variant type, because they're not as stupid as some of the U.S. ones. Because none of the U.S. ones thought to look under a goddamn dumpster for Glenn. But then 3 guys pull up. Because there's got to be at least 3 guys, because one was the driver of that car. And they pull up, and they basically grab Laurent and rush him to the car. And Daryl sees this shit and takes out one of them, stops the other one. Well, he throws one into the biters, who for some reason are swarming on him, but not on Daryl. I don't get it. Really friggin' weird. But then the other one they managed to capture, and because the car drives off with Laurent in the back seat. I don't know why when Laurent was in the back seat he wasn't trying to get out. He's like, Daryl, and he's just sitting there like a lump. Exactly, Portrait of a Lady. Sometimes I think they do things to further the plot. I mean, I will say that of the spin-offs, and I'm going to include Fear Most seasons of Fear and World Beyond in this. As spin-offs, this has been the best one thus far. I mean, Teddy was amazing in Fear the Walking Dead, but generally, I would have to say that, this is the best one. But even so, they do stupid things. I mean, yes, Laurent was sheltered. He was raised by nuns. Did they tell him that it's impolite to get out of a car you were shoved into by a kidnapper? I have no idea. But yes, Daryl had a hold of him. He could have helped Daryl. He could have gotten out of the car, and that would have been the end of it. But unfortunately, I mean, I like the kid, but, about sharp as a bowling ball sometimes. And Laurent, he could have been an unwilling, participant in his own kidnapping. You're exactly right, Big Rob. He could have been kicking and screaming. He could have, I mean, he's at the level. He could have punched one of them in the balls, Lots of things that he could have done, but instead, Daryl had to save the day, and Daryl didn't save the day. Because Laurent was just sitting there like an idiot. So sometimes, I mean, I like the kid, but he gets on my nerves sometimes. He's too, doesn't process things quickly. Maybe that's because he was born from a biter. Born from the body of a biter makes you kind of slow, like most of the biters. But anyway, they speed off, and Daryl has a prisoner. He and Isabel take the guy away. Now, we find out, and I'm not sure if I'm going in the correct order here, but we find out that bar dude, what's his name? The Jimmy story was cool, but we're not quite there. What is the bar guy's name? You guys let me know. But apparently Laurent's father, and Laurent knows this, and he's the one. It's not Jeanette's people who took him away. But then he ended up, talking to his son, and he's going to keep him there and keep him safe and make up for lost time. Quinn. I just have to associate him with the other Quinn and Dexter. And I'll try to remember that. So Quinn has Laurent and Anna's got a gun. She's there with him. I think she's the one who told him to look at the Eiffel Tower, because, she's the one that saw the picture and heard him say, I'm going to go to the Eiffel Tower someday and, just like my mom was there, and have someone take a picture. Okay, maybe not take a picture, but so basically then he is trying to make a deal with Jeanette to basically get a piece of artwork in exchange for Daryl. I don't know that Daryl's worth an art piece, but, seems an odd type of bargain. I would have went for like a cache of weapons or something like that if I'm giving up Daryl. But Quinn's I don't know what he's trying to do, kiss Jeanette's ass or whatever. And he's promising to bring in Daryl, and he doesn't have Daryl. There is no Daryl had. He had bait to bring in Daryl. But yeah, it was a very sketch thing. Very sus, as the kids nowadays say. But in the meantime, while Quinn is trying to make deals, Daryl and Isabel are speaking to this, to Quinn's guy, figure out that it's Quinn, and I think it was a hint when he called Isabel a stealing whore or something like that. You know, knowing about her past. Now, Daryl, I think she kind of mentioned that she had kind of a sketchy past before. So later on, when she tried to confess, him saying, you know, you already told me by the river, made sense. But yeah, when he refuses to be cooperative and coerced by the nun treatment, I mean, she could have grabbed a ruler and started rapping his knuckles. I understand that is something that nuns do that really, really is torturous. But, yeah, then the kid gloves come off. Daryl starts wailing on the motherfucker. And then he tells a story about little Jimmy. That was a messed up story. But nobody mess with Jimmy anymore. It's funny. That was all made up. That was hilarious. So, yeah, they finally get the get him to admit that there's another way in. And he's like, I could draw you a map. Daryl's like, nope, you can lead us there, motherfucker. So, Daryl's been making some pretty good decisions. He's just saddled with, Laurent, who makes bad decisions, and Isabel, who's kind of slow. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't really get a romance vibe between those two, but I know some people are kind of getting that vibe. And I know if they do end up at some point hooking up, I think people will riot because, Connie. But yeah, it's interesting how they came together. They're like, all right, we got to get Laurent back. And they got the entire crew, including Sophie. And then the other, I forget the guy that she's going to end up banging at some point, but who got shot in the leg. But they all get together, and she kisses him, and that's where the romance talk starts coming. But Daryl does his one-man commando thing. Well, being led by that guy, and then when he gets the full directions, he just leaves him to be eaten by the biters. Daryl is pretty goddamn ruthless in this. Reminded me a little bit of Maggie and the Reapers when she's like, yeah, you can go, and then starts shooting them. That was that level of savagery. But he ends up going through the tunnels, getting there, and finding Laurent. They have a big reunion, and Annie's got a gun, and she points it. But then she's like, just go. Because, one, she doesn't want to keep Laurent there because she figures Quinn's going to be a horrible father. And he manipulates people. He's not trustworthy. And she also doesn't want Laurent there for Isabel to come back crawling to Quinn. And for some reason, Quinn is still so into Isabel. And I mean, she betrayed him Well, left him behind. She hadn't seen him in like 10, 12 years. And I gotta say, Anna's pretty attractive. And, you know, but he's still carrying the torch for Isabel.
You know, it was really hard not to say that during my reaction. Like, really hard.
Busy! I'm no longer alone.
Truly hard. Hey, pal. I was gonna try to join. I was hoping to join a little later. But then I'm like making dinner and I see that you're, doing it solo. I'm like, I can't let my guy Governor do it by himself.
I appreciate
Come
that,
on, man.
Busy.
So here I am. How you doing?
Well, I'm no longer as lonely as I once was.
There we go. It's always better to have two eyes than one, right?
Or three. 'Cause
Or three.
Between the two of us, we got three. Yeah, it was Jazz was going to come, and then her coworker didn't show up. Alex wasn't feeling well. Bebe had some stuff she's going through, so she couldn't make it.
Okay.
Now,
yeah, I've been working nonstop, so I was like, you know what? I was so late with the Daryl reaction. I haven't even edited it yet, and that's something that I normally don't do. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make food for the first time because haven't even been able to make a home cooked meal because I've been working all the time. So here I am. I am pumped. I am ready.
I mean, if you microwave something, that's home cooked, right? Because you're cooking it at home.
I went crazy with this.
Oh, nice.
Crazy. Some ginger sauce on top of rice, some tofu, some zucchini and broccoli. I went crazy.
Wow, you are. I had some
chefing it up. It's better than what
sausage.
Oh yeah.
On sausage that I put on some steak rolls with some melted cheese.
Oh, look at you, Chef Kyle over here, or Governor.
Yeah, I microwaved the leftover sausage.
How to do it? That's how to do it.
And it was from takeout.
I'm trying to compare it to like what the Walking Dead characters would do, like whether it's roasting some nice dog over a fire, or some squirrel or some snake jerky.
Roasting a dog?
Whatever they did when Sasha straight up murdered all of them. That was a sick moment.
They did have they were attacked by those dogs, those wild dogs, and
that's what I'm referring to.
Ended up eating those, but don't you be messing with dog. Daryl's most was Leah the one who named him Dog?
I think so. I actually saw a top 10 characters of all time, and he was above Carl. It was terrible.
Wait, this is something you did or something you saw online?
Something I saw on Twitter a couple days ago.
Really?
Yeah, it was so funny. But anyways, what has everyone been saying about this episode?
We went through and we talked about Daryl's dream at the beginning, which was way too Last of Us for me.
Okay.
But turned out to be a dream. We talked about the cool cinematography of him killing those biters underwater and the one of them biting his shoe.
Okay, yeah.
For a moment, I'm like, wow, is he going to have to cut off his foot? But apparently, he just bit
Honestly, I thought what was happening in the prison, I thought that was real when he was behind bars. And then when it showed him with the water and all that, like underwater, I thought we were finally going to find out what happened when he jumped off the boat or when he ended up in France. I thought it was finally leading to that. But with the way they're milking it, I'm sure it's going to be like some massive reveal. If they're truly waiting to the last episode to reveal it, then it's got to be something massive, right? I mean, there's no need for them to milk it this long.
It could be. I mean, why are they that concerned about getting Daryl back? That is a question.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I was honestly just thinking it was like a personal vendetta with that other guy with the crazy tat.
Well, he's got the personal vendetta.
But he's working with them, like he has their resources, yeah.
But they want to get Daryl for some reason, and maybe, I don't know if they want him dead or alive, but they don't seem that concerned for his safety.
I want to believe that it has to do something. It has to be, related to Rick, but I feel like that's too good to be true.
I doubt it has anything to do with Rick. I could almost see them having injected Daryl with some variant of the virus, so that if he turns, he becomes, as strong
The
as
walker.
the exploding head walker, but without the exploding head.
Okay.
And
That'd
maybe
be
that's their
interesting.
concern. You know, I
I
don't know
try
why.
also with Laurent, that whole like dream sequence with him, like all the walkers walking right by him. I truly thought that was a like a real thing. I thought maybe him coming out of a walker caused him to have like you know how when Morgan like was half alive and the
Yeah.
walkers would just walk by him. I thought maybe because he was like born from technically a walker, it would like gave him some type of crazy ass ability.
Yeah, but I was thinking that was very Last of Us like if that
Okay,
was
yeah.
the case.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, geez, you know,
Nah,
all you
yeah.
got to
I feel
do
that.
is, kill your mama halfway through the birthing process, and you can be immune to
And it's crazy because
vitas or
I just know
be
so many
infected.
parents would end up doing that to give their kid a better life, In this world that's so messed up, they'd 100% do it.
Some of them might. Some of them might be like, no, I can't leave my child to fend on their own.
Yeah, it's a
And
crazy world, man. I fully expected, like, I don't know if I'm just a sick bastard, but when they were, when like I don't know what to call this group. Like, obviously, we can't call them the CRM because we don't know if that's what they are. But when this group, visited that, whole little area that, look up to Laurent and the baby was crying and she grabbed the baby. I don't know if I'm just sick, but I fully expected her to do some, you know.
yeah, I was concerned that she was gonna be like, why cry? Some sick stuff, but she
Yeah.
didn't. She wasn't that much of a monster. But yeah, we already talked. There was a lot of concern about that. And then we talked about the pigeon guy.
Okay, yeah, poor guy.
Yeah,
It
and
kind of looked like he was snitching on Daryl at one point. Was I wrong? I mean, there was a point where he was like trying to get his pigeons back, and then it looked like he pointed at Daryl to like let him know where they are, but I could be wrong. I may have
I
misinterpreted it, but
I don't know enough French, and I don't think that. I don't think he was snitching on Daryl. I think he was, maybe pointing at his bike.
okay.
He's like, but just, they're specially trained pigeons, and then it's like they're going to be delicious, and, kill them. Yeah. Some sick
Hello,
people
North.
in
Hello,
France.
Big Rob. Hello, Miss Kayla.
Miss Kayla just got home, but she's exhausted. I understand. You don't have.
Yeah.
I got busy. What more do I need? My
Oh, you got me
Terrificon,
blushing over here.
my Terrificon pal, who we got to hang out with, Mr. Cudlitz and Mr. Marquand and Mr. Andrews.
It was honestly a lot of fun because you're the first reactor or creator that I've like really met in like I've met online and then met in person. So it's pretty cool to hang out and to see all of your equipment. This man, he got a cool little setup, guys. It was cool to see everything kind of in action because I've watched plenty of panels, but I've never like seen it in action because all the panels I go to are like at New York Comic Con. So I feel like it's the forbidden area to go by because they literally have people standing by the equipment so you don't go near it. So it was just cool to see everything like, for real.
I did record a panel once at New York Comic Con. It was a David
Really?
Boreanaz panel.
Okay.
And I just went in and I set up my camera. No one said anything. And I went up and I put my sound recorder right next to a speaker.
And they didn't say anything.
And they didn't say anything. And I
Wow.
recorded it. And the audio is beautiful on
Crisp.
that.
Really?
Crisp.
Remind me
and
who that is.
Angel from Buffy.
That's one show I still haven't seen.
Wow.
Slacking.
Bones. Did you see Bones?
Nope.
Okay.
I think those shows came out when I was like
SEAL Team
3.
or SEAL Team 6 or some shit like that.
Buddy, I'm slacking. Haven't seen that either.
I haven't really watched Bones. I'm aware of it. Buffy and
Okay, yeah.
Angel were my jam.
Like I'm hoping one day like a patron asks me to watch one of those and I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, pay me to watch really good shows.
Yeah.
Why not?
One show I just started is Schitt's Creek, and that's been recommended to me like a long time for like a while. So I just started that. But
Yeah, I just recently went through all of The Good Place. I don't know if you've watched
Yeah,
that show.
I think I was talking to you about that. Yeah, I'm on season 2. It's a show me and my brother watch together, so we're a little slow. But I've really enjoyed it. It's been really fun.
Yep.
It's like I'm a huge sitcom guy. Like I've watched a lot of sitcoms, and I usually push aside sitcoms that I know I'm gonna like, such as like Parks and Rec. I haven't watched that because I know I'm gonna enjoy that. Same thing with The Good Place. But then my brother started watching it, and I was like, oh, you know what? I might as well try it. But the day they make a zombie sitcom is the day I, can leave happily. I'm looking forward to that day.
I mean, there's so many possibilities for a zombie sitcom.
I know.
Are you a Doctor Who fan? We're going to get back to the episode, I swear.
Still haven't gotten into that either, man. I'm slacking, I know.
Because
that's another show that I know I'll have fun with, but I just haven't dove into
let's
it.
just say, I don't want to spoil things for you, but one of the companions ended up going to an alternate universe.
Okay.
And at the same time, the Doctor kind of got almost cloned.
Okay.
And that clone went with this companion to the alternate universe. And I would love to see a sitcom based on that. Because this clone has all the knowledge of the Doctor, but he's not
the Doctor.
Alien. He's actually like a human.
Okay.
But he's got all the Doctor knowledge.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And, personality and all that stuff. So I'd love to see them, like, doing that. And he's, like, doesn't really understand all the Earth culture. And, he'll make comments and people look at him funny. I think it would be a hilarious sitcom.
I know I haven't seen all of Mork and Mindy, but isn't that kind of like, it sounds kind of like that? Like a person who's not technically a person comes to like Earth and has to get accustomed to all of our customs.
Yeah, I don't know that it would be that level of nano-ish, but
Nano-ish.
But a similar concept. It's not, he's basically the fish out of water.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, getting back to the episode, we got to the point where Annie, the singer,
so fine,
who I think is gorgeous. I would be like, Isabel who? But,
yeah, let her be with God.
But there were a few people in the chat who said that Isabel must be really a freak in bed to...
No, I know. Like, I mean, this episode, like, compared to last episode, gave me so many different vibes. Like, last episode, I was like, I love this woman. I don't know what it is. But then this episode, it's like, I feel like she's, like, so close to... I feel like she's going to end up trying to kill Isabel. Like, I think she's just so obsessed with staying with this dude and, like, having his power.
His name
being with
apparently
someone
is
like
Quinn.
That. Yeah, I don't care.
I had to
He's
be
a bum.
reminded. But
that's what I kept doing in my reaction. I was like, this bum. Like, I just couldn't care for his name.
I mean, he's trying not to be a deadbeat dad now, but he tried to abandon the woman he impregnated before.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just hard to see him or to try to get any redemption from that. Like, you were encouraging, like, before she even knew you were the parent, like, he was like, oh no, we can leave her somewhere that can give her good protection. Like, we can't take her. It's like, bro, what is wrong with you? If you knew that was your kid, that's sick. That's really sick.
Yeah, he gives me slimy vibes. He's definitely a shyster, a wheeler dealer. So... yeah, I don't trust this guy at all. But yeah, I did like the fact that Annie was just like, go, get out of here. Quinn's going to be a sucky dad anyway, so, go.
Nah, yeah.
And
someone said, hey, Busy, have you finished the One Piece live action? Soon. I was hoping to do it this weekend, but I ended up working nonstop, and then I had to get Patreon stuff done. So
you're reacting to it? Are you feeling like King of the Pirates?
I am
king of the pirates. I am king. I will be king of the pirates.
Come on, man. Nah, I got my One Piece statue right here too. I'm a huge One Piece fan. It's hiding behind the mic, but
I haven't actually watched the cartoon, but I watched the live action and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
now the anime, it takes a while. It's like a little slow at sometimes, like especially in the beginning. But where I am now, I am so glad I gave it the time.
Did you watch the honest trailers for One Piece?
No. I wanna wait till I finish the live action.
What's the girl's name?
Nami.
Nami? Apparently, over the course of the anime, her assets get larger, and they're wondering if that's going to happen in the live action as well.
Probably not. There's a lot of things that are very big in the show that they kind of don't do. Like Usopp, for an example, his nose is like out to here, but they didn't do that. So if they're gonna keep that small, I'm sure they're not gonna enlarge anything else.
Is there an in-cartoon reason, in-anime reason for them getting larger?
Probably fan service.
Other than fan service? I mean,
No, man.
what I was saying is in universe, did she eat a devil fruit?
No.
The implant fruit or something?
She's one of she's one of the like not everyone on the crew. Like there's a couple crewmates that do have devil fruits, but her, Zoro, Usopp, and Sanji are like some of the
Are
only ones that
fruit-free.
don't. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna meet another actually crewmate in season 2 that's gonna have a devil fruit, which I'm really excited for.
Well, I look forward to that, but I was just curious or in the anime, was she like young and still developing?
Well, I guess in a way, because not completely, because she's like 17 in this, and then there's a point where we take a little jump and she's about 19. So it's not like, a crazy jump, but I feel like I think they just changed the art style. It's just something I
Right.
think they
Or she had the hormones in American steak, and that just caused things to develop. Anyways, so we're almost to the end of this episode, so you missed a lot. We can touch on points that you really want to talk about.
I will be here next episode for sure. So I'll be here on time next episode, but the finale I will not be here.
Yes,
So I do wanna put that up.
we are very sad, but
Yeah, but I definitely I'm really excited to see where this goes. Like, I mean, I mentioned this in my reaction. I felt like this could have, like, even though it wasn't like extremely cinematic, I feel like with what they told, I could have seen it as a finale, like a season finale, with the fact that we
Yeah.
had
well, we just were about to talk about the
we're
fact.
jumping the gun. Okay.
Yeah, you're jumping the gun. Because basically he just rescues Laurent, Isabel, and her crew are down by the water with the guy with the boat, and it's all like, apparently Jeanette is sealing off the city, so they got to move quickly or else there'll be no way out. And which I'd be surprised if she has that many men to just seal off the city, but and then there's this whole thing where I actually was not quite clear. Maybe you can explain, why did she say, she couldn't go, she couldn't leave? Isabel, I know she wanted to deal with Quinn for whatever reason.
I know she was saying that he has resources to help them get out. But and that's what they were saying, because the guy said, "Oh, if we don't leave now, we're not getting out of here." And I think she just genuinely believes that they aren't going to get out of there unless they have help. So I think that's a big reason why she did go. But at the same time, I feel like she just feels like there's a lot of unfinished business there. I mean, that's like quite literally her past coming back to haunt her.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
maybe she could be going there to finish the deed. Who knows? But at the same time, I mean, I'm sure she's hurt with the fact that, he did her sister and then, had all of the intentions of leaving her behind and all that crap. So I wouldn't, even blame her if she had, the idea of finishing him off. But I think that it would also be quite possible that she believes he's the only hope, But
Yeah, but it seems to me once they got in the boat and the boat's going down river, they're getting out of Paris. What was she wanting resources from Quinn for what?
yeah, I honestly just think it's because the group that's going after them, like, is going to be surrounding them or blocking off all the entrances, all the exits. So I honestly think it was just an excuse. But I think she didn't really need to do that. I don't know, because it looked like she was close to changing her mind. And, if she was close to changing her mind, then, but I don't know. I'm just so curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I think unless she has some rock solid motivations that she wasn't sharing, it just seemed like not a very good reason. And as Amani says, how do people feel about the ending? I would never leave my nephew. I was confused about the decision. Yeah, it just seems very odd that she would, after sticking with Laurent from his birth, that she would decide, oh, go with this smelly American.
I honestly believe it's because she feels like all of the good is like just being drained out of her. I mean, after hearing the dude that they were beating, like, to a crisp, just straight up say like, oh, like I know who you were a whore, you were like all this,
You're a
thieving,
thieving whore.
Yeah, and he was saying all this crap, and I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like she thinks she was, so it's like she, of course, accepting that that's who she was, and then when Daryl was trying to get all the information for her, again, a nun, to be okay with, Daryl doing what he did. And, of course, what Daryl did, again, was justified, but for a woman of God, it might not be the best option.
I was saying that him leaving that dude behind in the tunnel was a little Maggie-like with the Reapers.
Yeah. I truly believe, I don't think that her being with the nuns or becoming a nun was like a ploy or was something that just to keep Laurent safe. I fully believe that she became one of them, So to see her, realize that, like, she is acting more off of emotion other than what, like, the other sisters would do. You know what I'm saying? Like, the sisters would react violently, worst case scenario. But these, like for her to, she's like letting Daryl do this to the guy solely because Laurent's her nephew. I mean, if it was any other reason, I don't think she would do that. I think if it was Sylvie, I don't think she would. Like, I want to believe she would do it, but I don't know if that's the case. I think solely because that's her nephew, she's like making it extremely personal.
Yeah, I mean, she may be losing her nun ways. But and so is Sophie.
Sophie, yeah, bro. She's saying she's staying back for what they're building. Oh yeah, that's what you're staying back for. Crazy.
She wants to see the erection that they're building.
Eiffel Tower be rebuilt.
She wants some tower to be rebuilt. But yeah, I didn't really. Maybe she's going back. Her justification is that. If she could get Quinn to help, once they're out of the city, he could, send resources or occupy Jeanette's forces, misdirect them so they could get to wherever. I don't know. Did they say where Laurent is going to, other than he's going with Daryl?
No, they said that there's a place he needs to go. Like, I watched some of the trailer, and there was a word for it. I forget what the word they were using, but it was like a place that they said several times in that 30-second trailer. So there is a place that he's going, and it's supposed to be like a safe haven, I think. And they said that in the beginning, I'm pretty sure, of the show too, because she's like, we have people all the way over here that I need you to bring them to. And then I think like that was her intentions of like they had a specific place to go.
Well, I think I don't know. It was interesting, and you're right. It did give kind of like a season finale vibe, because like I imagine we're going to be revisiting with Isabel and seeing what she's up to, and seeing Annie try to like kill her, because Annie does not want Isabel around. She wants
the nest.
Huh?
The nest is what they're calling it. The nest. That's what it was.
Okay, the nest. That sounds slightly creepy. But yeah, I don't think Annie wants Isabel around. I think that's going to come to a head. So either she's going to try to kill her, or tell her to go, or threaten her. There's something bad's going to happen, and
I can 100% seeing Isabel kill her, and then that's being what cracks her. Because again, I don't think, has she killed like a human yet? Have we seen her do that?
I don't recall.
But I think
killed a
like
human yet.
I think if she has, it was out of defense. But for her to do it here, I think it might be out of cold blood or just because,
Well,
just to get her out of the way.
I think it would be out of defense.
Yeah, but I
because
feel like
think
she'll
Annie's
have the
gonna come gunning
opportunity.
for her.
I feel like she'll have the opportunity to let her go or to like let her yield or something, but then go through with the kill is what I think that will probably happen. And that's what she realizes, that she's like fully lost her mind.
Well, in this world, you either kill or you die then you kill.
You're either kill or be killed.
I was giving you a governor line.
I love that.
damn it.
I love that. I just heard it. You die. Okay, yeah, that's actually, that goes crazy. That's hard. I like that.
Sheesh.
So,
And Amani says, think Anna might do something to Quinn, seeing how he's being with her, and that she
I think-
let Laurent go. I think she's obsessed with Quinn for some reason.
see,
now.
I think that would be cool. I honestly see it, but I feel like, say if him and Isabel end up kissing, she'll forget about him and then she'll just want the power, and then she'll end up doing something crazy. Either way, Quinn needs to die. Doesn't matter how.
Here would be a twist. Anna and Isabel bond. Realize that
Not gonna
Quinn,
happen. That doesn't make good television.
No, they realize Quinn is a fucking manipulative prick, and they basically, take sledgehammers to his ass. That would be good television.
Okay. I want to say how much I love the just the F-bombs, the casual F-bombs.
Yeah.
And the like the way Daryl was monologuing that story was probably one of the best Daryl moments that I've had in the entire series. Just the way he was telling the story, like at the time when I thought it was legit. He's like, well, little fucking Timmy over here. Like he was killing it. Like Norman Reedus was delivering that monologue like he was getting paid $20 million an episode, bro.
I watch on AMC Plus. I don't know if it is censored at all on regular AMC.
I almost found out because I watched it on AMC Plus, but since this is the first time I watched it after it aired, I almost watched it like the recording that I had. So it like showed, it was like playing Halloween something. Like Jamie Lee Curtis just cut the head off of Michael Myers, and then it cut to what was happening. So quickly when I saw that, I was like, no, we're watching the recording, because I was afraid that it was going to cut out some stuff. So I made sure that didn't happen.
In the chat, does anyone watch it on regular AMC?
I think they do show it, because I don't know about all of them, because they showed like 3 F-bombs here. But I know in the finale of The Walking Dead, when Negan saw... Yeah, when Negan... so they did show that.
It wasn't censored at all on regular TV. That's interesting. Okay. I know that there was a show, NYPD Blue, that was... They'd actually have a little bit of nudity in it. It was like aired at 10 o'clock, and they allowed it because it was so late at night. So I'm wondering, I mean, it's only 9, but I wonder if they're like easing up on some of those rules.
Well, Interview with the Vampire goes crazy, and that's on cable television, isn't it?
Yeah. I watched, I think, the first...
Because they be showing like straight, like hardcore nudity.
I mean, I read the book, which is quite a bit different. I saw the original movie with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt and Kirsten Dunst. Awesome.
Interesting.
And so I started watching this. It wasn't bad, but it just, I don't know. I didn't continue. I just have other stuff to watch, like Ahsoka tomorrow night. So apparently the F-bombs are not cut out. I don't know about all the gore, but the F-bombs are definitely on regular AMC. So yeah, it was definitely an odd ending for Isabel, and she's setting herself up for some conflict. Mm-hmm. And if she couldn't tell that Anna was into Quinn and might defend her territory, that's on her. Or if she's just so singularly focused on helping Laurent that she's like, apparently Quinn still wants this body, so I can possibly,
I like
use
that,
that to
North.
my advantage. What's that?
Maybe to ensure Quinn doesn't go for Laurent again, which I feel like would also be another valid reason to kill.
Yep.
You know, to wipe
Still,
him off.
I like Anna. I think she's a cool character.
You like the way she looks. You don't care about her
I do like
character.
the way she looks, but I think she's but the way she talks to Laurent and the way that she just the way she let Laurent and Daryl go, and just I feel for her because I've been in situations where I've been in relationships and I was way more into the other person than they were into me.
I want to give you a hug, buddy.
I don't need a hug because then we'll kiss and then who knows what'll happen. No, we don't need to go that route.
Do some stuff with that eye hole of yours.
Now you're just being sick. You're not getting into this hole. Maybe another one, but not this hole.
All right, chill out, bro. This is crazy.
No, but I like her as a character. I feel for her. She had Quinn's attention, and then Isabel walks in from the past,
And it was an instant thing. He just forgot about her.
yeah, and he started I don't know if he was treating her like shit before that, but I don't want to see her. Because if there's a confrontation between Anna and Isabel, more than likely one of them's going to die. It's probably going to be Anna. I don't want her to go that route. I would rather her realize that Quinn is a fucking douchebag and bond with Isabel over their mutual hatred of the douchebag, and then basically, go up to him and, break his kneecaps and, reduce him to powder, I'd love to see that. And yes, she's gorgeous, and if I met her at a con, I would be like, hey, you want to go get some dinner? Do you want to see my eye hole? But,
Chill. Bro, she better be at a convention coming up, man. I'd love to meet her. Because she's really good at her character, of course. That's
yeah.
why.
Well, this is shot on location, I believe. So she's over in France. So unless she's an American actress who's over there like Daryl, and she's going to come back, to the U.S. I mean, the thing is with cons is when they get a guest, they have to pay for their
Fly
travel.
over. Yeah.
And when it's international, it becomes a little more complicated.
Yeah.
And when you have someone like Mr. Clutterbuck,
The only con I can see doing it is the camp. I don't see anything it being through any other convention, honestly.
well,
I don't think she's a big enough name to do it
Fan
through like San
Expo-
Diego or any of that.
Fan Expo, those dickheads. I mean, those fine folks over at Fan Expo, who I loathe, they would likely be, able to do it. They bought over Joseph Quinn, but I don't know that her character has
But
the
he's massive,
drawing
bro.
power.
No, yeah.
So it
He was
would be
huge
nice.
in Game of Thrones.
What's
I don't
that?
know what else he was in. I said he was huge in Game of Thrones. I don't know what else he was in, though.
Joseph Quinn?
Yeah, it was a bad joke. He was in Game of Thrones for like a scene, so I'm trying to pretend that that's where I know him from.
Okay. Yeah, you got to work on your delivery.
Screw off. It was funny, man.
Screw
He said,
you,
I'm not
man.
sure if we'll
It
get
was
more
funny.
screen time. Oh, we'll definitely get more screen time, but we have 2 episodes left, so.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to be following Isabel because at this point, they're not just going to follow Daryl and forget
You know what
about
would be
her.
really cool? If we don't hear from them for the next episodes. And then in season 2, like in the middle of the season, we're like in really bad like luck. And then we see Anna and Isabel coming out like in nice gear. They own the entire like group and their work and then it shows flashbacks of them killing Quinn and then rebuilding France with the other groups and shit.
Yeah, I could visualize it now. Daryl is like they're surrounded by a bunch of Bitas, and Laurent's behind him, and he's trying to swing his thing, but it's not working. And suddenly, pop, 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 pop. And like badasses holding machine guns, Isabel and Anna walk out, and leading a bunch of men, and just boom, boom,
Wearing like
boom.
berets and just like dope ass like gear. That'd be. I want it to happen.
Yeah, that
Just
would
don't
work.
have them cover them for the next 2 episodes, so we can have
But-
such a big reveal.
We also need to know more about Jeanette and her situation, because North of 60's right. You know, how Daryl got on the boat is still a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think there's something to why they want him so badly, is maybe something they did to him before he left. It can't just be revenge, because revenge would be, you know, I get the feeling that Jeanette would rather ignore the problem if it was just a simple matter of revenge, because you're putting a lot of resources into finding this one guy. And unless you're really a fan of the show Ride, you know, why are you going after Norman Reedus so hard? Well, I mean, if you were Alex, well. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of unanswered questions about that. We have, 2 episodes left? It's only 6, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So only 6, and then there's going to be a season 2, obviously.
They've already
because
confirmed it. Yeah.
They've confirmed it, and Melissa McBride's going to be there.
Come on, that's a spoiler.
Dude, they announced it.
I don't know if everyone in the chat knows it though.
I mean, they friggin' announced that before the finale of The Walking Dead that Daryl and Carol are getting a spinoff. And
Same thing with Maggie and
Maggie and Negan are getting a
It's
spinoff.
that was a bad mistake. I mean, they should have said there were 2 spin-offs including main characters, but saying what they did assured that the only characters left that we cared about were gonna survive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like Aaron, and he survived.
I loved Aaron,
And
but like
Ezekiel.
they were like they weren't
But-
like I feel like they weren't center stage like the other 4 were.
No, they had good moments. They had good moments.
Oh, definitely, I loved Aaron, but like
And
I don't-
I would like to see a Tales of the Commonwealth series.
that'd be cool.
Just like maybe
They should
one
just
shot
continue
stories, but
Tales of the
involving-
Walking Dead, but just make a majority of it like existing characters. I don't see like the Alpha one was extremely interesting. I don't know why they don't just do that with other characters, because that's what it seemed like they were
Wrath of
like
the Governor.
That's what that would be dope. That seemed like what they were promoting it to be. Like when they announced that they were doing it, everyone was like, "I hope we get to see more of Abraham." Oh, I hope we get to see some of Sasha and why am I choking on her brother's name, bro? What is wrong with me? Tyrese. I don't know why I did that, but Tyrese. Like they wanted to see characters that we already saw, just more of that, and that's one reason that people were really, really excited about.
Yeah, I mean, more backstory on Tyrese and Sasha. Having maybe the story
Like-
about how Penny got bit.
Okay,
before the
even
governor.
like seeing the aftermath of like right after Morales' family died, like how Negan found him. Like how dope would that be?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Even though we know what eventually happens to his character, but
Of course, same thing. We know what happens to Alpha, but they still showed us flashbacks.
yep, she gave a little head, and
Bro,
someone took a little head. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing where this series goes. This was a good episode. The titles, our French expert is not here, so I'm not
I don't
gonna
even
bother.
pronounce them anymore.
Yeah, you just go. Blah, 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 blah.
I just go like, we're here with episode 4.
Yep, that works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so busy. Anything coming up that you want to let people know about?
We need to catch up on a lot of reactions. I'm hoping to catch up with the Continental. I want to start that. I want to start Gen V. Those are 2 shows that just came out that I haven't even started yet. And then I need to finish One Piece and the Wheel of Time. And then we got Comic-Con coming out. So if any of you are going to Comic-Con, say hello to me, please. I'd
New
like
York
to say hello to
Comic-Con.
you guys. New York Comic-Con. Gotta make sure I clarify that. So
Yes, because
we're doing that. we've been working so much because my goal is to get, better equipment, better stuff. I want to just upgrade a whole bunch of crap,
Did I make you jealous when you saw my case and all my cameras and sound
Oh
recorders?
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I want to start up a podcast, and it's honestly, it was motivation because seeing like you guys just casually plug into like that big ass audio interface and just knowing that you guys know what you know. I mean, I'm like, I want to know what they know so I can like make my podcast have no issues.
I'll be happy to teach you. I will say,
Yeah.
Did you see the podcast, How to Be a Podcaster episode panel at Terrificon? I'm going to put that up probably soon.
No, I usually stay away from those because there's a lot of like things like that, but like, oh, like this is how you be a content creator, or this is how you do this, and usually it's like stuff that I already know. So, and if they'll tell me something that I don't know, but within like one thing I didn't know within that 60-minute period. So sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'll stay away from it for now, so I don't,
The only thing that I've found is that monetizing podcasts is a little more difficult.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, my friend has a podcast, and he was trying to show me a lot of the ropes, like where to go, what to use. So I got to figure all that out again. So it's gonna be fun, man.
Well, yeah, if you want to do it, I've actually been thinking about taking some of the regular panels and just putting the audio onto a podcast.
I think that would be a really good idea. I think I mentioned that to you when we were talking a while back. I think that would be a really, really cool idea.
Yep, it's just
there's a lot of podcasts. Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts where the audio isn't nowhere near perfect. So even if there's a little like white noise in the back, I think it would still be pretty interesting for a lot of people because it's not like a lot other than the trivia. I don't think like when we're just talking like this, I don't think it's really mandatory to have to look at us. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but
again, it's cool because you would. It's the perfect, excuse.
No, I was talking about panels from conventions.
Oh, I thought you meant panels like with what we're doing. Oh no, yeah, that would be dope. I mean, the audio is always crispy. That'd be perfect.
So, yeah, it's a thought. I just have to do this panel was recorded at Terrificon on.
Okay, yeah.
I got to do the little.
Said Fan Expo is the only Comic-Con coming near where I am, and it's in New Orleans. Where are you near? Are you near New Orleans? You're nowhere near New York. Now, yeah, it's about a 4.5-hour drive from me.
New York is like less than 2 hours for me, something like that.
Yeah, you're in Connecticut. Yeah, that sounds about right.
No, I'm not in Connecticut.
You're not in Connecticut?
I'm in South Jersey.
Oh, okay. Because it's on my way. Like I'd stop at my uncle's because it's literally on the way to New York. It's about 2 hours from his. But I've told you guys where I'm from. I'm from like Salem, and I guess Mombi didn't know that, and she didn't believe me when I was talking to her. Like, why would I lie about that? But
so yeah, Ms. Kayla, yes, Fan Expo purchased the Wizard World convention part of their business. Wizard World, from what I understand, still exists as a business, but they are not doing conventions anymore. So they used to be a magazine, and I don't know if they're going to do something along those lines at some point. I have no idea. But, yeah, Fan Expo is one of the cons that I no longer cover just because they did me wrong. Basically gave me permission to record panels and then rescinded that permission with copyright claims. Well, copyright strike threatened me with copyright strikes if I didn't take down their panels. So I'm not fond of them. They're very rude. But yeah, I'm hoping. I'm not going to say don't go to Fan Expo if that's the closest con to you, and they have guests that you want to see. Go see them. But I definitely would encourage you to find other cons. There may be other ones in your area that might be smaller.
When I go, I usually don't even go to panels either at Fan Expo. I usually go for like the smaller like art creators of just the different businesses that are there.
Yeah, well,
I like to show them some support.
Well, before the merger and before COVID, Fan Expo was cool, and Wizard World I had such a good relationship with them, but it's all gone to shit thanks to
The merger.
well, thanks to new management. So
Zasloff, is that what his name is?
I have no idea who's in charge, but I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like the fact that they treat press like dirt. So the hell with them. But anyway, everyone, you should make sure if you're not already subscribed to Busy Braun, you go up to his channel and you hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. And of course, here on Fandom Spotlight, you want to do that too. Click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you're not already subscribed, but I think most of you are. And yeah, we got more panels coming. More panels from New Jersey Horror Con, PA Horror Con, some ones left over from MentoCon, some panel highlights from Dragon Con, and even a few more things from Long Island Doctor Who. So lots of stuff coming down the pike, and along with some special videos. Not that kind of special. Don't think you're going to be seeing my nether region.
Your hole.
You're not going to see my eye hole.
The eye hole.
But there's going to be some cool videos coming up. Since cons have slowed down quite a bit, I got plans. I got plans for some other content.
You got
in the
movement. Come on.
meantime. Well, no, that's when I go into the bathroom. But anyway.
Not the bowel movement.
Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully next week we'll have a larger crowd. But, I mean, you got me and Busy, so, what more do you need? But
Yeah.
we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Governor and my amazing Lieutenant Governor.
Yo, yeah, I got a promotion.
You got a promotion.
That's crazy.
It's provisional, so don't fuck up.
I'm changing my channel name.
But me and Busy, we are out. All right.
It's Lieutenant Busy.
Yeah,
So,
just look awkward. It'll be fine.
blur the camera.
Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream.